I'm still surprised that mods aren't immune to ads. Meow. Howdy, howdy. Time for some Eepy farming, I guess. Um, Alright, yeah, I've got until... I got almost an entire year before that crop needs to be harvested. Okay. Um, yes, that means I can do some more... Um... A lot of stone picking. No. Maybe not. Huh. Also, that one, but it's the equipment from the other one. Hello, deleting. Yes, it is a weird name. There we go. But why are those contracts already sitting at like 90%? That's fucking weird. I don't care. Not connected together at the back here anywhere? That's weird. Okay. I'll go do the far one first. Mm-hmm. So uh so I was all set to boot up the stream when I frickin' remembered that I needed to switch my multi-stream plugin. So I had to quickly go and find my original multi-stream plugin and download and install it and get it set up in order to be able to do the YouTube's thing. Because the last few times that I've streamed, I've been trying to use the new built-in one from OBS, but unfortunately, it does not, the built-in one does not seem to support audio tracks properly. So like, it didn't seem to matter which audio track like how I set up my audio tracks. It was constantly ending up with the Spotify music on the YouTube side, which is how a few of my YouTube videos are, not viewable in certain regions. So I decided last week, I was like, right, I'm gonna have to go back to my original multi-streaming solution, which was the item or ATEM, however you pronounce it, multi-streaming thingy. And then promptly forgot about it until right as I was booting up stream today, and I was like, oh wait, shit. I need to do that so that my videos, my recordings on YouTube will stop getting fucking blocked. Also, last week, it literally shut off the YouTube side of my stream halfway through because of that. So, yeah. In case anybody was watching on YouTube last week and wondered why it just seemed to stop partway through, that's why. Because OBS's built-in multi-streaming solution is ass. and not the fun kind of ass that you people always enjoy seeing from me. I mean, what? Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Huh? Right. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, it you sent it right around the time where I got the message from my landlord about the whole issue with the car and stuff, so I've been really focused on sorting that out lately, so um I like it. I mean, they drew me a little bit chubby, but I mean, that's that's just some people's art style, so I'm not gonna hold that against them. But yeah. Oh, merp. And again, I suppose the doll one kind of looked a little chubby as well, but I mean, that was, it was a doll. dolls are generally only a rough approximation of a human figure. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just yeah. As I said, sorry it took so long. I did have some I said some IRL stuff with my landlord come up right around the same time, which, I was kind of focused on dealing with that so I didn't get, you know, angry letters from my landlord threatening to kick me out or something. I saw that, yeah. I saw you posting about that. It's like, oh, that sucks, and I know how that feels. Well, not super exactly how that feels. Didn't have any blow up on me, but I do have two flat ones. But that was a bit of good news. I did find out that the one rear tire that was flat, um, apparently there was no damage done to it from sitting like that for a while, because I reinflated it yesterday and it's still inflated up to the point that I put it to, so. The two front ones, on the other hand, I inflated those to about 20 psi. Well, I inflated all three of them to about 20 psi because that was roughly um, roughly the pressure that the single remaining good tire was sitting at. Like, clearly it's been, you know, ever so slowly losing a little bit of air over the time it's been parked there, but that's just a natural thing. Like, if you leave them if you leave them parked for long enough, the tires will slowly lose a little bit. Um, but you know, not well. Yeah, like the standard kind of pressure for car tires is about 30 or 32. Um, like I said, it had been sitting there, and three of them had gone flat, and the one that wasn't flat was sitting at about 20 psi because it had, when tires sit for a while, they do lose a little bit of pressure over time. Given that the car has been sitting there for like 2 years now, and that tire has only gone down by about 10 or 12 psi, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have an actual leak. It's just, natural. Um, howdy, dog. Yeah, it's just the natural course of things, so they're just losing a little bit while it's sitting there. Um, but like the other three were all completely flat, basically. Um, so I was like, well, I need to inflate them a bit to move it, but I don't know how badly damaged they are. I don't want to be trying to fully inflate them and have the damn things blow up in my face. So I was like, well, The one remaining good one is at about 20 psi, so I'll bring the others up to that amount, and then that'll be enough to move it around the parking lot without damaging the rims. And then I can, see if they will hold that pressure or if they are completely fucked and are just going to, de-inflate on me again afterwards. No, my face is what does the blowing, Skyfer. Get it right. But yeah, no, so I inflated them all, I moved the car a little bit, went to, thank you for the head pats, went to the store, came back from the store, and the two front tires were basically flat again, so they'd only lasted maybe about 30 minutes. The one rear tire that I had to inflate is still inflated, so, you know. That one I might not actually need to get replaced. I'm gonna have to call... I should have done it after work today, really. I should have called the mechanic place after work today, but I was... one, too tired, and three, procrastinating. And don't ask me what number two was, because I don't know. But yeah, no, I need to call up call up a mechanic and see if I can get it booked in for some work either Monday or Tuesday, hopefully, which is the days I have off next week. And obviously I'll need to get those front two tires like completely replaced. I'll also see what the mechanic says about the rear tires, whether he thinks I should get those replaced or not. And then while it's in there, get them to do a basic servicing, make sure everything's functional, working properly. And I'm not gonna like drive down the road and have one of my wheels fall off because the axle had rusted through or something, you know. And yes, I am going to trust the mechanic to make the call on the rear tires. I know a lot of people will be like, but Sky, they're gonna rip you off. They're gonna tell you it needs doing, even if it doesn't, just so they can get more money from you. But that's the reason I'm going to be going to the mechanic that I'm going to, is because it's the mechanic that my mum goes to, and she has had many a time in the past where this mechanic could have done exactly that and, you know, told her she needed something that she didn't really need just so they could make some extra money. And they did not. They have actually been they've actually been straightforward with her. And like there's been times where she would take it in because she thought it needed something, and they would be like, "No, we checked it over and it's perfectly fine." Whereas they could have said, "Oh yeah, well we need to replace this, and this." There we go. How's my fields doing? Too much moisture. At least having too much moisture doesn't really negatively affect the yields with this mod. It just means you don't really get any bonuses, that's all. Exactly. It's hard to find a good mechanic, and from what Mom has said about this one, they are pretty good. So, is that new? I don't remember seeing this machine around before. Must have been one that they added in one of their recent patches. I do not remember seeing this before, but it's not a mod, so... Interesting. 5 meters. And it's just... it has fertilizer. Okay, yeah, or it can have fertilizer. Not direct drill, but it has fertilizer. Okay. What is my current seeder? Oh yeah, I'm using the broadcast one. Okay. Yep. Hey. Oop. Sorry, I'm just something on one of my mobile games here quickly. Right. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. It's October 2nd. Second week of October. Hmm. Could do the plowing contract. It's just up the road, and I've got a plow that I can use. Why not? Do that. Yes, this is the one that I need for my plow. Yes, yes, Sky does occasionally plow. You can just ask Safi if you want some proof or a testimonial. Just because Sky is usually prefers to be the one getting plowed doesn't mean that she can't do the other way. I mean, what? That was a bump up. Well, I mean, I do offer that service. I mean, what? Mm. Huh, I did not know that. I mean, if, you know. I also haven't seen Safi for a while, so. Oh, right, I needed fuel in this tractor. Probably in some of my other, um, equipment as well, to be honest. Hmm. Well, that's annoying. What the hell was planted in here that makes this fucking ground texture? Ah, potatoes. Okay. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. Yeah. Mm, bonk bonk. That little strip there just for the fucking thing being so annoying to plow. That's probably gonna come back and bite me right about now, though, isn't it? Oh, wait, no. Because it's the ups and downs now. Mew, hello Tilly, how you doing? Oh, oh, that was... There we go. Doing okay? Oh, that's good. I know things have been a little bit rough lately, so it's good to hear that you're doing okay. Meow. Mm. So, I don't know if you're still interested in the game or not, Tilly, but I've been doing some playing around with some new 7 days mods lately. Um, oh, I suppose I did do one or two streams with at least one of the mods, I guess. So you might have seen that. It was like a water and food overhaul kind of thing that kind of sort of brought back the more like survival-y type aspect of water just by making it, you know, slightly more involved in how you can actually get and utilize it. Like, it brought back the glass jars, which means, yes, you can just go to any freaking water source and fill up the jars. But he also added extra stuff where, like, you know, why squish? You know, extra stuff, or like just boiling it in the cooking pot wasn't really enough anymore. That just gave you essentially water that was safe to drink, but it only gave the same kind of hydration as the murky water. Just so like half of what regular water gives, just without the negative side effects of drinking murky water. Um, and you also can't use that water in cooking recipes. You need to do another step of purification to get the regular water. Wow. Apparently, Archangel likes caramel dancing. Um, but yeah, so there was that one, and you also had the yeah, the filters and temp purifier, and there was a schematic that you could get for an actual filtration station, and even a later game one that could just do it a lot faster. And he reworked the dew collectors so that now the dew collectors was basically like essentially just a workstation. Like, you tell it to craft water, and it does it as long as you have the jars to put it in, kind of thing. So that there was that mod, which was honestly the bigger one. There was another one that he did that was like turned all of the tools, like your axe, your pickaxe, and all that kind of stuff, actually turned them into kind of viable weapons. And then there was one that modified the loot tables a bit so that honestly, so they made a little bit more sense. Like, you know, base game, you come across a gun store on like day one, and you go in there and you somehow manage to loot the damn thing without dying to all the dozens of zombies that are in there. And you come away with like some pipe weapons or stone weapons, and it's like, what? You know, like very basic shit that is cobbled together, not stuff that would be sold in a store. Yeah, and that one mod basically made it so that you could do that. You could go into a gun store on day one, and assuming you survive, you would probably come out with an actual gun. It also made it so, things like you had a chance of finding actual tools in toolboxes and stuff, and various things like that. But the latest one that he's come out with that I've kind of been toying around with off and on is a basically a complete overhaul of the progression system, like the leveling system. You now have a learn by doing type system. So like as you do certain actions, a it levels up a skill associated with that action, and you still have like perks and stuff that you need to spend points into, points that you get from leveling up, but they're now locked behind certain levels of the learn by doing. Like you want to be able to craft 9mm ammo, you need to get your gun skill, like your gun skill up to a certain point so you can unlock the skill to craft 9mm ammo, Yeah, it's all very interesting. He's actually so. Oh, and there was another one he made that increased the number of zombies in the world, basically. um, I was playing with that one as well. So it was kind of like I was kind of toying around with just having like you know, a Romero movie style zombie apocalypse where don't have to worry about horde nights, but there's just a crap ton of zombies around, kind of thing, making like every day a potential gamble, especially when you start going into like the other zones, because like so basically in the vanilla game, uh when you're in the pine forest at the beginning, just out in the wilderness, for every chunk in the wilderness, which is like an 18 by 18 block, the game has a chance to spawn a single zombie. When you get into the built up areas, it increases a little bit. Got a chance to spawn like 1 to 2 zombies or something. And those numbers are fairly consistent like throughout the biomes. It's like wilderness has very low numbers of zombies. The more built up areas have slightly higher, and the actual downtown areas have, higher still. But there's still not very large numbers of zombies. Um, the mod basically, it also, it doesn't change depending on biome either. The mod basically makes it so that in the pine forest, you have like 6 times the original number of zombies. So, and then the burnt forest is like 7 times. Desert is 8, snow is 9, and the wasteland is like 10 times the usual number of zombies. So it's basically like if you go into the downtown wasteland at night and fire off a gun, you're not getting out of that alive. It's just nope, dead. You're gonna get swarmed and absolutely slaughtered. Um, but yeah, he's so right from the get-go, the more zombies mod and the loot table change mod worked with his learn by doing mod that he brought out. And the learn by doing actually includes all the stuff from the tools as weapons mod, so you don't actually need to install that one. It's just built into the oh wow, thick fog. Oh, thick fog. Okay, yeah, it's just built into the learn by doing mod. Um, but the up until fairly recently, his water and food overhaul mod did not work with the learn by doing, but now he has actually made a patch for it. So I'm contemplating doing a run with all those mods installed, plus some of Aurora's mods as well. Although there's a number of Aurora's mods that I can't use with the learn by doing because they depend on the base game progression system, like the base game crafting system, which the learn by doing mods completely turns that on its head as well. So um, yeah, let's skip through to September. No, November. Sorry, it was October. We're skipping through to November. Uh, Although it does seem to me like quite frankly, 7 days doesn't seem to do particularly well on Twitch. Like live stream format doesn't seem to work particularly well for it. So I'm contemplating just doing it as like videos. Oh, hang on, what's this? Is soybeans? Heck yeah, I can do that with my own equipment. Yeah, no, it's because like I've noticed like back when we were doing the 7 days streams together there for a while. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem to get oh wow a huge amount of interest on Twitch. So I was contemplating if I do any further 7 days stuff, I might just do it as like videos. Although that would necessitate actually learning how to edit videos. Um, and having the patience to actually sit down and do the editing. But for the meantime, I'll probably just play it in my own time, just to get more familiar with the mods and how everything works with them. So that way, when I do eventually decide to do something like that, I can actually do it properly. Because at the moment, easiest thing to try learning with, mostly clipping to eluding, fighting, and showing up bases. Kinda, yeah. It's like at the moment when I'm playing with those mods, I have Horde Knights turned off just so that I can get used to how the new mods work, and because they completely freaking turn things on their head with that game. So it's like I wanna see how things work and get used to it before I start doing like, well, I have, you know, 7 or 10 days to get prepared for a Horde Night, and you know. Especially since, you know, um, the food and water one in particular does slow your progress significantly, because you do have to spend a lot more time dealing with the water issue than you do base game. Base game, it's very much a lot of, you know, run through a POI, get a half dozen jars of murky water, take them home, boil them up in the cooking pot, and you're set for like the next 3 or 4 days, you know. Um, Not quite so straightforward with that mod. Jeez, why couldn't you go around the corner? Yeah. I do think... I do think for the time being, I'm probably going to keep... oh, excuse me. For the time being, I think I'll probably keep BattleTech as a fixture on the channel. Mostly just because I'm really into that game again now. So yeah, it'll probably be something like Farm Sim, No Man's Sky, BattleTech, or Farm Sim, BattleTech, No Man's Sky. Not sure which order I'll do it in. Yeah, just because I like that. I'm liking that game now. I have been playing it off stream. Although I've been kind of avoiding doing any of the story missions. I've just been doing like, you know, contracts and stuff on the side to get more money and more mechs and stuff. I have significantly upgraded my mech lance. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of 2 of my long-term pilots. I lost both Decker and Behemoth during a couple of different side missions, so I'm having to train up replacements for them, which absolutely sucks. Luckily, luckily the replacements will be a lot harder to kill. Um, the entire reason I lost those two was because they were in medium mechs when my other two pilots were in heavy mechs, and so um Decker got lost when I kind of stumbled into an ambush on a mission and got my ass surrounded. And Decker was in my blackjack, my medium mech sniper. Um, Double auto cannons, double medium lasers. Is it AC2s? So long range plink plink sniper autocannon. Um, yeah, and he just took so many hits from so many different directions that he ended up dying because he was only in a medium mech, and that was painful. Um, Luckily, shortly after that, I did manage to get my hands on enough salvage to build a rifleman, which is basically the heavy mech equivalent of the blackjack. So, Decker's replacement has much better protection than he did. Um, Meow, hello Marcus. Oh, and now there's an ad. Um, yeah. Mm. Well, I mean, at least it's something. Um, for a while there, I don't think anybody was getting any ads on my channel because Twitch seemed to have frickin' demonetized me for a while there. Well, not really demonetized, but they stopped showing ads for a while. I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Um, yeah, anyway, oh, alright, yeah, Tilly won't have ads because Tilly has subscription, right? Yes. I could have kept talking about the... So anyway, I, yeah, replaced the blackjack with the rifleman, so now Decker's replacement has better protection. Also, somewhat better weapons because the rifleman goes the rifleman has AC5s instead of AC2s, so more damage, slightly less range, but still decent sniping weapons. Um, And then the next one after that was actually Behemoth. She was in the Vindicator, which I had set up with a dual PPC build. It was like two BattleTech. I'm talking about BattleTech. Yeah, so she was rocking the Vindicator with two PPCs and two medium lasers. Um, and I had a mission, I think it was last night actually, now that I think about it. It's a very unfortunate circumstance. Well, I'm sure the enemy mech pilot, if it hadn't been an AI, would have thought it was quite fortuitous, but the enemy mech got in a lucky shot and managed to completely core her mech, like completely took out the center torso, and yeah, she actually. I didn't know the game could do this, but she did actually technically survive the mission, and she hung on for a while. Um, and then I got like she was in the little event feed that it has up in the top corner, like what it would be above where I am at the moment, where it was, she was in there as recovering, but the timer wasn't really going down. And then after a while, I got a one of those event pop-ups where I had like various different options. Basically the doctor saying she had slipped into a coma and they didn't think she was going to survive, and gave me a number of options for what I could do. Uh, and it's like a couple of them were basically just accept it and mourn, and then there was two others that was basically like try and do everything you can to save her. Um, one of which was basically it cost money and was basically like throw like basically all the resources of your med bay into trying to help her, and it would like it cost you money and reduced med med tech points, so anybody else who needed healing would have healed slower. And the final option was if you had gotten the hospital bay upgrade for the Argo, you could put the entire resources of that into trying to save her. I don't know if that one would have actually saved her because I unfortunately did not have that upgrade unlocked at the time. So, despite my best efforts, she did in fact pass away, which sucked. But her replacement is now rocking a Crusader. So that's another heavy mech. So my entire lance is heavy mechs now. So much lower chance of them actually getting wiped out. Where did my lid for this? Where the heck? The heck did the lid for this bottle go? That's annoying. I wanna put the lid on, please. Where did you go? Uh, ha ha. Hmm. Didn't end up on the floor here anywhere, did it? Doesn't look like it. Hmm. That's unfortunate. It has just vanished. Yeah. Yeah, so you know how there's a bit of a meme in BattleTech that like or in for the BattleTech game where it's let's say somewhat unusual for Decker to survive the first mission that you have him on. Um, I was all kinds of chuffed with myself on my current playthrough because I'd managed to keep Decker alive. And then he died on me. Despite the fact that he was in my blackjack instead of the little crappy light mech that he starts in, he still got overwhelmed and taken out. And then later on, I also lost Behemoth. She technically survived the battle, but then slipped into a coma and passed away back on the ship. So I was like, no. So now I gotta break in replacements for them. Uh, yes, you may, Marcus. You may. How you doing, the tankard? Also, apologies for the mild panic attack. Not my intention. Ba, 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 ba. How the game does the entries like that? Like, is it just flat scales? I'm not sure. I know each mech warrior has a set number of like they have like essentially a health bar divided into sections, and each time they take an injury, one of those sections gets taken away. And then all if all the sections are taken away, they become incapacitated. And I know there's at some point in there, I think the game just kind of like rolls the dice and to decide whether the incapacitation is fatal or if they can actually recover from it. But I'm not sure how all the behind the scenes stuff really works for that. Like, I know as they level up and you put points into their skills, the guts tree actually increases the number of injuries they can sustain. There's also various mods and parts that you can get for your battle mech that will allow them to ignore a certain number of injuries. So like you can get like a cockpit module that you put on that will say like ignore like one injury, So like the first time during a battle that the mech warrior would receive an injury, they don't. But it only, it's only that one time deal, and then next time they will receive an injury. And there's multiple ways they can be injured. Um, Taking even a glancing hit to the cockpit can cause an injury, but the cockpit is a pretty small target, and it's hard to actually hit deliberately. Um, if the mech gets knocked over, either through stability damage or losing a leg, the pilot will take an injury. And if one of the side torso sections is destroyed, the pilot will take an injury as well. Obviously, if the cockpit is destroyed, I do believe I could be wrong, but I do believe if the cockpit is destroyed, that's just 100% chance. That's just like they're dead. Like there's no percentage chance to survive or anything. I think they're just dead at that point. Which makes sense if a frickin' you know the enemy's AC-20 blows right through your cockpit. You're not exactly gonna have time to go, oh shit, and eject. It's just, but you're dead. Waiting on the new computer. I had to unmothball my old machine to get online without having to worry about it catching a fire. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh. I mean, who's to say I don't enjoy being almost crushed under somebody's weight? I mean, breath play is a thing. People like that kind of stuff. I may or may not have been choked a time or two. Only in VR though, so it isn't like no chances of anything going wrong. I was basically just simulating it by me holding my breath essentially, but you know. And I could smell a magic smoke coming from it, and all my Zetas were going off. Oh dear! Oh no! Oh no! Tilly hats. Oh right, yeah, because it's October. That yeah, the seasonal edits to the emotes that Stream Elements does for the thing. It's spooky month, so they gotta do the witch hat, or as Skyfer calls it, the Tilly hat. Oh, whoa. Over a year, huh? Only thing the motherboard is dying, and if it goes, all parts connect to become untrustworthy. A lot of money in any machine. It's got a new GPU. Ooh, yeah. Wrong direction. Oh, right, I should make sure to collect the straw from this as well before I end the contract. Little bit of extra income for me. Ba, ba, ba. Jesus. You know, I'd forgotten how big this field actually is. It doesn't really look super large on the map here, especially compared to like these ones up here, but yeah, it is it is quite a bit bigger than I was thinking. Especially since I've got such an small and old harvester. Um, ba, ba, ba. Skyfer, could you do me a favor and check that my YouTube stream is still going and it didn't shut off on me like last time? Oh, hello there, Skyfer on the YouTubes. Yes, okay, so it's still going good. Um, you just want to check on the YouTube side, you should not be hearing the music, right? Because that was what was getting me in trouble with YouTube was no matter how I set up my audio channels, the music was still going through to YouTube. which was annoying. Okay, good. I should be able to avoid having any more frickin' recordings be blocked because of copyright issues. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because so what was happening was when I originally started multi-streaming, I was using a third-party plugin to do it, the item or what, however you pronounce it, plugin. And that plugin had the option when you were setting up the YouTube side to choose which audio track would be going to YouTube. So I had it set to pull from the audio track that was going to the Twitch VOD, which doesn't include any of the copyright stuff, and that worked perfectly fine. And then OBS released their own built-in multi-streaming tool. And the last few times I've streamed, I've been trying that one. And yeah, so despite it apparently saying it was pulling from audio track 1, and despite me setting things up so that... Oh, shit. Don't hear music here either? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna destroy. Let's change it to same executable, see if that fixes it. Yeah, I forgot. Frickin' OBS is back to the stupid thing where every time I start it up, I have to reselect the Spotify source to like tell it which window to look at. Okay, so can we let's redo that check then. Let's make sure you can hear it on Twitch, and then let's make sure you can't hear it on YouTube. Okie dokie. I'm going for like an hour and a half without any music because I freaking... Okay, there we go. It's sorted then. But yeah, no, the OBS multi-stream plugin, despite the fact that it apparently said the YouTube stream was going to be pulling from audio track 1, and me having it set up so that audio track 1 was the VOD track with none of the copyright stuff on it, it still ended up with music on there for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. So I just went back to my old way of doing it with the third party plugin because I know that one works properly. When I actually get the frickin' music playing at the start of stream, because uh, OBS, why? Okay, so tomorrow I will probably be doing stream a bit earlier than usual, I think. I mean, obviously yeah. So, like normally on the Saturday, I would come home and I would frickin' take a nap, and I would stream like 9 o'clock my time, maybe 8 o'clock if I wasn't too tired. Um, because I usually have Sunday off. Unfortunately, this week I am also doing the early shift on Sunday, so tomorrow's stream will be earlier so that I can get to bed at a reasonable time for working on Sunday. I think tomorrow I'll probably do BattleTech. I'll finally be able to progress the story since I'll be on stream. And technically I could have done some of the campaign missions off stream because, whatever, but I don't know. Yes, very Eepy. I've been up since 4 a.m. I did lay down for a nap after I got home, intending to only lay down for like an hour, and ended up being like over 2 hours. So, yeah. That just, unfortunately, freaking, while it feels good when I get home and I'm super tired, it's like, yeah, lay down for a nap. It feels great to lay down for a nap. But then when I actually have to cut it short and get up like an hour or two later to do a stream, oh my god. Oh, it's yeah. Mm. Yeah, I might end up cutting this stream even shorter than I was planning to. Honestly, I was planning to try and go for about 3 hours or so. That would let me head to like finish up stream and head to bed around 10 my time, but uh, uh, my head is hurting a little bit. Oh yes, also, now that I know that this realistic weather mod actually works in conjunction with precision farming, I should actually get around to starting the YouTube series that I want to do with this on this game. It's another one where I'll have to frickin' learn editing and stuff. Because nobody's gonna want to sit here through harvesting a field like this on a YouTube video. Burp. Yeah, honestly, I might just finish up this contract and oh, before I forget, I need to put down a fueling thing at the farm. Otherwise, I'll frickin' I'll come back next week and I'll have completely forgotten about it, and then my tractor will run out of fuel halfway through a job somewhere. At some point I should probably at some point I should probably break out my other steering wheel and do some Euro Truck Simulator again. So that's another good game to just kind of sit and chill and chat with people. Although it's a bit trickier to keep an eye on chat with that one because, reading chat necessitates taking my eyes off the road. uh, it's like it's like texting and driving. Well, hello, Hopsco. How you doing? Look, I'll have you know I'm a good driver, okay? It's just it's just hard when people are writing big long paragraphs in chat and I'm trying to read it and I get distracted, okay? Why missiles? Yeah. I have not. I have an AMS. For those not familiar with with BattleTech, AMS is an anti-missile system. Mm. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna go to bed as soon as I finish this field. Oh, right. No, no, don't sing along, because YouTube will pick up on that. Yeah. That's one thing I'm super annoyed about with the BattleTech game at the moment, though. I have managed to acquire two pieces of salvage for a Marauder, and I cannot fucking track down the third part in order to actually build the damn mech. which is annoying because of the, well, I guess technically it's not base game. I think it's from the Heavy Metal DLC. But of the regular mechs that Harebrained Schemes actually put in the game themselves, the Marauder is probably my favorite heavy. And I also, at one point, I had basically an entire lance composed of Marauders. Well, three of the four were Marauders, and the fourth one was I think it was a catapult. I could be wrong. And yeah, it was such a fun little build because I had the entire lance was basically geared towards dealing stability damage to knock the mechs over and cause pilot injuries, and thus incapacitate the pilots with hopefully not outright destroying the mechs or not destroying large chunks of the mechs, because the more of the mech is intact when the pilot is incapacitated, the more salvage parts you can get from it. So I basically obviously the catapult was focused on LRMs. Oh shit, crap. I forgot there was a little creek there. Okay. Obviously the catapult was focused on LRMs, as you do with a catapult. Or not. You know, I'm not your mom. Do what you want. Also, in the immortal words of Tex, fuck you, it's a catapult. But no. The catapult was standard catapult fare, long-range missiles. Except I think I pretty much pulled all the lasers off of it, so I could fit LRM 20s on there instead of 15s. But the Marauders was where things got interesting. So basically, the idea behind the build was that I wanted weapons that would do a lot of stability damage, but wouldn't really do too much focused damage to break through the armor. So the standard Marauder 3R variant that is the most common one in the game comes with 2 PPCs, 2 large lasers, and an AC-10. So, I think I can't. I think I kept the 2 large lasers in case I did need to do any like focused damage on something. But I swapped out the AC-10 for the LBX version, so it's like a giant shotgun. And then I swapped out the PPCs for the snub-nosed PPCs, which, at least in the game, are essentially the energy weapon equivalent of a shotgun. So I was basically rocking, like each Marauder was rocking three shotgun style weapons that would basically sandblast the enemy's armor, not really penetrate very much, but do a ton of stability damage and potentially hit the cockpit with like three shotgun style weapons per mech hitting the enemy. I got a ridiculous number of cockpit hits. There'd be like times where I would just, complete, I'd completely destroy the cockpit without even breaking through the armor on any other part of the mech. Alright, before I forget, I need to... Oh, shit. Right. Oh, damn it, Okay. It just clicked past noon, so he's on his lunch break. Let's speed that up a little. I'm doing okay, Hopsco. There we go. Alright. Construction. Container. Just get the basic default one. Yep. Shit. That's the wrong... No wonder the lights weren't turning off. I was doing the wrong paddle. Oh shoot, right, I need to do the... Ah, crap, I gotta do... Okay. It's alright, I can just save the game. So I forgot I wanted to collect the straw as well. It's a good thing I didn't end that job. But I am not going to take the time to actually bale and collect all that straw tonight. I'm just going to get the equipment in position so that next week I will remember what I was doing. And then I'll just save and come back. When I come back next week, I will... Fuck, you know what I just realized? I did not. I didn't fucking refuel the tractor. Oh. It should have enough fuel to collect the bales once I do them. Oh. No, no, I'm gonna be ending soon. I don't need another ad. Um, um, there we go. Uh, It's all right. It's only in the orange. It's not in the red, so it should have enough fuel to. But if I just bring it over here, park it up, shut the engine off, um, it should have enough fuel to collect the bales once they've been baled up, and bring them back over here, and then I can get some fuel in her. Oh, before I get too far with this, though, I need to actually go put some fuel in the fuel tank. Otherwise, it will be kind of tricky to actually refuel. Yep. Ow. Stupid colliders. Freaking ridiculous on this map. Especially like the curb colliders. Freaking absolutely ridiculous. Alright. That will be that for tonight. Well, apologies for the super short stream tonight, but yeah, I am really dead tired. I probably shouldn't have even actually bothered doing a stream tonight, to be honest. Um. Oh. Wait, wait. Yeah. There's not really anybody on that I feel like raiding. Well, anyway, for anybody who's joined us on the YouTubes, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to check out my profile for other things that I do, including my Twitch, which is my main streaming platform, but also my Discord server, which is the best place to keep up with my comings and goings. Yeah, and various other things. And I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow, probably tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Oh, also, if you're watching the recording of the stream as a video after the fact, don't forget to do the whole like and subscribe thing. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual jazz that feeds the algorithm. And thank you very much. Yeah. Bye bye, YouTubes.